I think I've on paper had top 5 worst days of my life today. Not in any like weird emotional thing that's happened, but like in a everybody hates Chris, everything has gone wrong way. But you know what? I'm still very positive spirits through it all. I'm positive spirits through it all. It's nothing horrendous has happened. It's just a series of unfortunate events stacked on top of each other has led me into the day that I've had today. Just for some context, I spent a couple hours at the DMV today. My car got towed. You know where it all started? Today's been crazy. Today's been crazy. And my no good, horrible day all started the moment I woke up. And I have nobody to blame but myself. To be clear, I have nobody to blame but myself because apparently Dream Ludwig was a huge asshole to my beautiful girlfriend QT last night. And when I woke up, I suffered the wrath. I suffered the wrath of my, malfeasance, if you will. Apologize. See, that's where I made a mistake. So I woke up today. It's my Mondays. You're dramatic. I'll tell you the day, man, and you tell me if I'm being dramatic. I woke up today, and I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, doing my thing. I come out of the bathroom. I see Cutie. She's pouting. She's not happy. I just look at her. I'm like, good morning. She goes, you were mean to me in my dream. And I've been in this situation before. All right. I have been in this situation before, and I know the way out. All right. I know the way out. I'm sorry. Dream Me's such an asshole. That guy. All right. You apologize, you move on. Bing, bang, boom. She's not actually mad, but she has the emotions of that dream that weigh heavy on her, and they need to be realized. I get that. Then she tells me what I did. And I'll key you in. Dream Me, allegedly, Dream Ludwig hired somebody new, a new assistant, who happens to be a woman. All right? So far, so good. Nothing wrong with this. Cutie happened to come into the office one day, and this new assistant that I had hired, I did not tell her about. Okay, that's a little weird. Why did I not tell her about hiring an assistant? That's kind of weird. When she walked into the office, the assistant was sitting on my lap. Okay, now we've crossed into some sexual harassment training failures. Okay, that shouldn't be something that happens in the workplace. That's an issue. So Cutie in Dream World, rationalizes all this information. New assistant, didn't tell me, sitting on the lap, and her first thought in the Dream World is, who is this assistant? I go, it's Monica. She goes, don't you already have an assistant? What happened to Yingo? I go, Yingo is my at-home assistant. Monica's my at-office assistant. Okay? Dreamy's very combative. I do think there's a Lewinsky deep-seated, I do think there's a Lewinsky thing going on, but she denies this. Anyway, apparently this is my in-office assistant. Cutie then turns to the assistant, and to defuse the situation, this is what she says. I would never have thought this. But to defuse the situation, she turns to the assistant, Monica. She says, can't you work from home? Now, on paper, I don't think that would be what you actually say in real life. But kind of a smart thing to say. Like, low-key, I thought about that. I was like, yeah, that was kind of smart. Monica was ready for this one, though. All right? Dream Cutie has created a villain that is ready for every argument that she can make. Because Monica does not bat an eye. She goes, studies show that if you work from home, you are less productive than working at the office. She had that ready. I don't even know if that's a real study. I got no clue. But in Cutie's Dream World, it is true. I'm pretty sure it's the opposite. I'm going to be real. I'm pretty sure the opposite is true. Doesn't matter. In this Dream World, she didn't go, you know what? Let me check that. Where are the sources? I'm going to pull up Wikipedia. That's not what happened. In the Dream World, she said, okay, well, you got me there. And then she goes, well, I'm going to fire you. Monica goes, you can't fire me. And then she turns to me, and then I, in the Dream World, go, you can't fire her. Technically true, still not a good thing from Dream Ludwig to say. Dream Ludwig batting pretty bad here. Batting 0-0-0-0. Okay? Then after this, imagine the situation we've already set up. After this, Cutie's like, okay, well, she can't work from home. You're having weird, relationship with her where she's sitting on your lap. You didn't even tell me about her. You have to choose. Either you fire Monica or you stay with me. Or excuse me, either you fire Monica or leave me, basically. She gives me an ultimatum. The moment she gives the ultimatum, I wake her up in the bathroom. All right? Sound of toothbrush falling or something. She wakes up. The dream was not resolved. And so now guess who has the fun role of learning all this information and then answering the ultimatum in the real world? Me. That's my job now. All right? And so Cutie explains everything that happened in the dream. Then she goes to me and she goes, so fire Monica or leave me. And then she basically asks me in the real world, she goes, would you fire Monica? And I fuck up because it's what I say. Big mistake. Already a big mistake. It's a no-brainer answer. It is literally a layup. It's like when you fill out your name on an SAT and get 600 points. It is a gimme. It is a gimme. I failed it. I failed it. I understand that I failed this. It was early in my defense. Okay? All right? Why was I saying, let me explain my rationale? Because I was thinking, this is my actual thought process. I thought, well, actually, in this scenario, I would be having an inappropriate relationship with an employee. I believe this would be like on the books for like a sexual harassment case. If I fire her because I sexually harassed an employee, all right, who in the job description, by the way, this is part of the dream. In the job description, it was her job to comfort me. I was like, in the dream world, if I set up a employee contract for someone to comfort me and then I fired them, the whole company goes under. It is better that I quit. And so in a panic this morning, all these thoughts go through my mind. I say, I would quit. Wrong answer. The right answer was, of course I would fire her. Because in the dream world, the California Penal Code for labor laws doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right? I was taking this shit a bit too literally. It doesn't matter what it... Oh, California labor laws, throw that bitch out the window. Because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter even a little bit at all. Apparently in dream world, studies show that you work better when you're at the office. That's not even true. I sold. So anyway, I said I quit. And she goes, you can't quit. She says, you can't quit. You own the company. And then now I'm like defending my stance. I'm like, well, of course I can quit. It would be more reasonable to quit in this situation and have new leadership take over. The Mogul Moose brand could still thrive. I'm going through all of this. All I needed to say is, yeah, I fired her. And I fucked it. And that's how I start my day. Then I go to do the Yard premium episode, okay? We talk about this exact thing on the Yard. Everybody on the Yard roasts me. Everybody on the Yard is like, yeah, you fucked up. You should have just said, of course I would have fired her. All right? Slime messages Cutie. Let me see if I can find this. Slime messages Cutie and says this. Because Cutie posted on Instagram, Dream Ludwig really pissed me off this morning. Monica, ... She is a beep. And Ludwig said after I woke up and told him about it, he wouldn't fire her. Can you believe? Just to be clear, I said I would quit. Just to be clear. And then he says, he told us and we all agreed that was the wrong thing to say. I effed up. Okay, I effed up. I understand I effed up. We do the Yard. It goes great. Here's where problem 2 of my day comes in. My car got towed. All right? My car got towed because let me give you some real life tea. I do have a new assistant. It is not a person named Monica. It's not even a woman. It's actually one of my friends from high school whose name is Christian. I do have a new assistant. This is real. Yingo's still here too. I have an assistant to help with off-brand. Okay, just my good butt, Not nothing sexual. Anyway, so my new assistant, right? He's in town. Christian's in town, and while he's in town, I'm like, oh, dude, you can borrow my car because I drive my Vespa everywhere. So I'm like, dude, I'll let you borrow my car because he literally moved here from New Hampshire. You know what I mean? I'll let you borrow my car and you can, do your thing, drive around town, wherever. He's like, all right, hell yeah. The first day I let him borrow my car, he parks it, calls me the next morning. He goes, Ludwig, the car's not there. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I parked the car. I'm 100% this is where I parked it. The car is not there. I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's I don't know why that would happen. I look up my car on some impounding California websites. My car got towed. It turns out I have not registered my car in over 2 years. My car was parked on a public-ish street that I don't normally park at. Cops were driving by, just looking up plates, saw that mine wasn't registered, had that bitch towed. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're probably thinking two things. First off, you're probably thinking, how ridiculous is it that we all have to have a car registered? Like, what happened to freedom? Freest country on earth? What next? A license for my own damn toaster? Second thing you might be thinking, Ludwig, you're a dumbass. True. That is on me. It's not registered and you gave it to a friend. Okay, don't rub salt in the wound. Yeah, I am saying the story. I did live through this. It happened today. So anyway, it got towed on Saturday. This is going to be important. It got towed on Saturday. To get it saved, to get it from the lot, I had to register the car, which required going to the DMV, which opens on a Monday. That's going to be important later on. It was towed on a Saturday. I had to wait until Monday. Today is Monday. So first off, I have to go to a government office that will release the car from the towing company to be driven off the lot. I go there with some paperwork. I say, here, I paid the registration online. Could you please give it? The lady at the counter goes, no, that's not how that works. So you're going to have to go to the DMV. You're going to have to get a 1-day permit. And I go, a 1-day permit? It's a permit for only 1 day? She goes, no, that's just what it's called, honey. It's a 1-day permit. It's going to allow you to drive the car because you need a smog check. You haven't got a smog check. So it's not actually registered. It's just getting approval for registration. When you have the 1-day permit, you can come back here. We'll release it from the lot. Then you can grab it and then you can get it smog checked. Then you can get an actual registration. Then you have to come back here and prove that you've done all that. That means I have to take a trip to the DMV. And to the DMV I go. Now, what I didn't realize, okay, just because where I had to go for this office, it's in downtown LA. I didn't realize that was the busiest DMV in Los Angeles, but it is. I went to the busiest DMV in one of the biggest cities in America. There were 2 lines out the door. There was a line out the door for appointments and a line out the door for non-appointments. Now, luckily, online, I checked in and I said virtual wait in line, which was kind of convenient. All right. It was kind of weird in a way. It half worked, half didn't. You know, look, full respect. I understand the job of DMV is difficult. They must register every single car in this country to a person. That's not an easy job to do. But when you register to wait for a spot, it just gives you number. So I just had like G300. That was it. It didn't say how long. It didn't say how many people were before me. It just said G300. That was me. So I go, while I'm there, I realize there's a self-checkout kiosk. I look up online, can I get a 1-day permit in a self-checkout kiosk? It says yes. I go through this self-checkout kiosk. I'm touching through this touchscreen for 15 minutes. Part of that's my fault because I switched the language to Japanese by accident and I kept it on Japanese because I wanted to practice my language learning skills a little bit. Person behind me in line, after looking me struggle through the katakana, says, you're at the wrong part of this whole DMV. You got to leave. I go, what? They go, you're just wrong. You have the paperwork wrong. You're just slow. Just go. Just go to the counter or something. Just go. Me, I'm not in a position to argue because I think they're right because I've been typing numbers in all day. I'm like, okay. All right. And they go up. In the meanwhile, I did the New York Times Monday crossword. We knocked that out, me and Christian, 15 minutes flat. Not too bad. They call me up to the counter. The moment I go up, I go, hey, I want a 1-day permit. They go, sir, that's not what you're here for. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that is what I'm here for. They go, no, online when you booked your virtual line spot, you said renewing license. I go, what? They go, yeah, you said you're renewing the license. And I don't know how to describe this woman outside of being very thorough with her job. And right after I said, oh, but I need the 1-day permit, she grabbed all the paperwork I had and went full Peter Griffin with the acrylic nails on me. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, she just went nonverbal for about 7 minutes. Ding. She was using a typewriter. I don't know how she had a typewriter in there. Ding. And I was just like 8 minutes pass. She hands me all the papers that she has plus a few extras. She still hasn't said a word. I go, is this? She just goes, yes, honey. And I walk out, correct paperworks. Badass. She was badass. I know people have bad experiences in the DMV. She was beast. She was actually beast mode. That was real. She was a pro. She was a pro. So then I drive my ass back to the place, not to the impound lot yet. We are not yet there. I have to go back to the place that has to tell the impound lot that I'm allowed to take the car back. She goes, all right, so first thing we're going to do is give you a ticket. I go, what? She goes, yeah, we're going to give you a ticket because you obviously didn't get your smog checked and you drove without registration. So you're going to pay the ticket here, but you can't pay the ticket until you've done your registration. So you can pick the car up from here to get your registration, then come back to pay the ticket. Okay, cool. I do all that. Finally, I get one slip of paper that basically says, to whoever stole my car, you are allowed to give it back to me now. I go to the place. The place, I don't know how to describe. It basically smells like pennies. It smells horrible. It smells like there's a pool somewhere, but you can't see it. And I go in and I'm like, hello, I am here to retrieve my vehicle. They go, okay, great. What car is it? And I go, it is a Volkswagen. They go, awesome. What color? I begrudgingly have to go, it's purple. They go, what? It's purple. It's purple. I switched from you to Twitch. It's a whole, do you know Ninja? Anyway, eventually they get all the paperwork. And then this lady dead ass looks me in the eye. She goes, that'll be $440. And I'm like, now understand, I know that I spend money superfluously. There are times where I spend money somewhat superfluously, but I do not like spending money recklessly. And there's a difference. All right. I'll give you an example. I'm okay with spending almost $20,000 for charity to win a tour of the Monterey Bay Aquarium because ultimately that money is going to a valuable spot. I am not okay paying $440 to some scam towing company that stole my car off the goddamn street because I need to register my vehicle even though I live in a free country. So I go, ma'am, I'm going to need you to itemize that. You cannot throw $440 without itemizing that. She goes, all right. Well, it's a $165 tow fee. I go, steep, understood. A $115 city council fee. I go, what the f does that even mean? She goes, I don't know either. I'm like, okay, we're on the same page, but I'm getting screwed over. And then she goes, it's $55 per day that we held it. And I'm like, I knew there was something wrong. Here's the misunderstanding. So I got my car towed on Saturday. It is Monday today. 2 days. She goes, no, sir, that is 3 days. I'm sitting here. I'm like, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, I guess it's, but 20. No, I did the math. That's 2 days ago. I did the math in my head. That's 2 days ago. She goes, well, sir, we charge $55 for the first day it arrives and then $55 at midnight every day. I'm like, what? What do you mean? She goes, I'll say it again. It's $55 for the first 24 hours it is booked, then $55 at midnight. I'm like, okay, $55 for the first 24 hours it's booked. That's Saturday to Sunday, and then $55 at midnight. That's Sunday at midnight. That's another $55. And then today's Monday. It's not midnight yet, so I'm good. She goes, no. A guy in the back starts explaining it to me. He's explaining it through bites of watermelon. I don't hear a word he says. I don't hear a word because they got one of them windows that only has a hole at the bottom, and I'm like this. I feel like I'm in planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm trying to hear through a small vent like I'm a imposter. And he's over there and he's like, yeah, man, so $55 a day. And then midnight, $55. So to rewrap my brain around it, I say, okay, if you were to have towed my car, let's just imagine Saturday at 11:55 p.m. And this is a 24-hour establishment. And I pick the car up Sunday at midnight in 10 minutes. How much money would I pay? She goes, $110. That's 2 days. And I'm like, son of a, this is a scam. That is a scam. That is a scam. So that 10, 15, 20-minute window, because it crosses over this midnight barrier, is 110. But if it happened at 2 p.m., then it would only be like $55. How's that fair? The answer is not. And the thing is, I couldn't even get retribution because I went online. I was like, let me give this one-star Yelp review. They already have a one-star Yelp review. I'm shouting into the void. I'm pissing in the ocean. They're already 1 star. People have been through this. I'm just another domino in the shit that they go through. Finally get the car back. I'm like, Christian, you can use the car now. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, not really, but just use it. I don't really know what's going on in my not so good, very terrible day. Then I get home. Cutie's recording wine about it. Guess what the topic is when I get home? Walk through the door. I hear Monica, and she's sitting on his lap. I'm like, oh no, man. I thought I was safe, bro. I'm never safe, man. And then I come here in this chair. I have to record some VO for a video that comes out later. I knock out the VO with 2 minutes to spare before I'm supposed to go live today. 2 minutes to spare before I'm supposed to go live today, because I hate being late, because when I'm late, you guys yell at me. I'm about to click go live for this stream when the hits my ass. Not even an analogy. It took me 8 minutes. That's why I'm late. So anyway, that was my day. And I have one person to blame. Monica! You dick! Oh, and by the way, I didn't even include this in the story. I benched today. All right, I did 235 because I was feeling myself. Turns out I'm not even a fart. I literally hurt my shoulder. I have a tweaked shoulder now. This hurts. I'm hurting myself doing this. That's great. Tweak the shoulder. 29-year-old tweaking the shoulder at the bench press. Who the is Monica?